Good evening, everyone. A Fergus Falls High School graduate is speaking out tonight, saying she was bullied by teachers and the district superintendent while enrolled in school.
I spoke with the 18-year-old who says she is sharing her story now in an effort to prevent other students from experiencing what she endured. It's a story you'll only see on Valley News Live. Ziola Holm recalls the moment when she asked the district superintendent for help during her 8th grade year, offering a folder detailing her experience.
So what he did was he opened it, closed it, tossed it at me and said, "Get out of my office."
Holm eventually graduated last year from Fergus Falls High School, calling it a long and difficult journey. At birth, she was diagnosed with hypophosphatemic vitamin D deficient rickets.
Most days it's like a dull, achy kind of pain, so I'm really stiff. When I try and move, it's very difficult, whereas some days it'll be like sharp. It feels like I'm being stabbed.
Because of her condition, which Holm says kept her home about half the time, she was a 504 plan student while in school, receiving special accommodations, including extra time for homework, quizzes, and tests, and extra time to get from one class to another. But the teen says most teachers failed to properly support her from her 7th grade year through her senior year, and says some teachers even bullied her.
I actually had a grown man mock me in a high-pitched voice. "I have a bone disorder and I have chronic pain." And then they all started laughing again. And so I ended up going home crying. And I cried myself to sleep that night, actually.
In January 2021, Holm says she went back to the superintendent's office once again looking for help. By that time, Jerry Ness had left the position and a new superintendent had taken over. That new superintendent was Jeff Drake, who tells us he's now entering his 3rd year leading the district. He asserts most of what Holm is complaining about happened prior to his arrival.
To me, if those things happened to one of our students, that's not meeting our district's expectations. And we need to do a better job in the future if that kind of thing is taking place.
Holm says Drake listened to her complaints, but didn't do enough to address her concerns, even though Drake says he reached out to Holm's case manager and took steps to educate teachers about the needs of 504 plan students. Currently, the district has more than 100 such students in the program.
I went through all of this and I was able to make it, and now I'm going on to bigger and better things. And I want that for other kids,
Ziola is now preparing to begin her studies at Hamline University with the goal of becoming a pediatric orthopedic surgeon. Jerry Ness, the former superintendent of the Fergus Falls School District, did not respond to our request for comment. Because of her alleged troubles, Holm tells us she's considering taking legal action against the district. Finally, for any 504 plan student having similar problems, a representative for the Minnesota Department of Education says to contact the Civil Rights Office for the U.S. Department of Education or the Minnesota Department of Human Rights.